For generations, rural America drove our nation's economy. Our farmers fed the world. Our innovators changed the game. Entrepreneurs and small businesses built communities, and our economic heft was unmatched. Today, there's a crisis of opportunity in rural America. Our young talent is leaving. Our communities feel the effect of this economic decline. Still an economic powerhouse, still feeding the world. Investment flows in, but the wealth flows out. Wall Street, not Main Street, is in the driver's seat. Buffalo Ridge Capital is an Iowa-based energy infrastructure fund focused on investment in clean energy assets with historically predictable long-term cash flow. Investment comes from America's heartland, and the wealth created stays in America's heartland. Led by the Haack family, innovators in clean and renewable energy projects for over 30 years, and a team of experts, they have over $12 billion of wind and solar projects completed. Buffalo Ridge Capital will transform the way individuals invest in renewable energy, create wealth for rural Americans, and support opportunity for America's heartland.
Buffalo Ridge Capital will transform the way individuals invest in renewable energy, create wealth for rural Americans, and support opportunities for America's heartland. The renewable energy industry will be transformative for America's economy. Industry research indicates that $16 trillion of investment in clean and renewable energy, along with 20 million new jobs, is expected by 2030. For the first time, investments in clean energy exceeded oil and gas. Buffalo Ridge Capital positions investors to capitalize on this extraordinary growth. It's a simple fact. Wind and sunshine are free. Clean energy investments hedges against fluctuations of commodities like oil and gas. Clean and renewable energy isn't going anywhere. Demand for energy is not going to decrease, and we've seen this over the years. Wind and solar technology continues to innovate and improve, so there's extraordinary potential for returns for investors. We're positioning Buffalo Ridge Capital to be risk and recession resistant to create wealth for investors. Strong diversification among projects insulates against risk. With clean energy projects, after startup, there's little to no input costs. There's not going to be a dip in demand. Wind and sun will continue to be a free and available resource, resulting in a stronger investment performance. We're seeing this play out right now. Returns on clean energy investment and asset valuation actually increases with inflation. And as we develop more and more clean energy, dependence on oil, especially foreign oil, will decline. Energy independence means a more solid and secure future for all Americans and a stronger investment performance.
In the 1970s, long lines at the gas pumps were caused by the energy embargo in the Middle East. Ken Haack realized that the government was not going to fix the energy crisis. So in 1977, he started installing wind turbines. In 1999, Ken spearheaded the largest wind farm in the world on top of the Buffalo Ridge. The wealth created from the more than $12 billion in renewable energy projects developed by the Haack family, less than 1% of that stayed in the heartland of America. And they recognize this has to change. The Haack family has a proven history of solving problems and developing opportunities to create wealth.
As the nation faced one of its greatest tests, the pandemic, our clean energy projects continued to move forward. Pioneer Solar is an $8.1 million project helping power Grinnell College. The project started before the pandemic and was constructed during the worst times. Even as the college shuttered, the demand for electricity continued, so construction continued. Marathon, Iowa, a town of 263 people, converted an old ball field into a power plant, providing electricity to the residents. As small towns and communities throughout America reevaluate and reallocate their resources, more and more communities like Marathon are choosing electricity independence as part of their evolution. Both Marathon and Grinnell were able to secure large investments without having to use their capital to build these clean energy projects, as both saved thousands of dollars per year in electricity expenses. Around 85 to 90% of investment in renewables comes from outside rural America, which means the wealth that's created leaves rural America. Buffalo Ridge Capital keeps that created wealth here. That keeps our talent, keeps our young families here. They don't have to leave this amazing, safe place to thrive and prosper. They can continue their family's rural and agricultural legacy. Buffalo Ridge Capital is the only Iowa-based fund that focuses on developing clean energy projects nationwide while keeping that created wealth in rural America. We are committed to creating opportunities so that families who have worked this land for generations can continue that legacy, continue to be stewards of the land, preserving both the resources and our traditional way of life. We also believe this will position rural America to reclaim and retain its economic stature. Rural America feeds the nation. The potential to power it is on the horizon. We have revenue-positive projects operating and new developments already underway. Buffalo Ridge Capital insulates against risk by diversifying projects across energy sources, wind and solar, as well as project size, small projects to utility-scale operations. We target markets that will experience exceptional demand and capitalize on trends with turnkey development projects in underserved areas. We are projecting that returns for initial investors will be greater than 15%. The Buffalo Ridge Capital Fund incorporates ESG factors with the traditional investment strategies to achieve long-term goals. In the same way our investors are incredible stewards of the land, we will take every step to be responsible stewards of your investment and your family's financial future.
The clean energy sector is poised for exponential growth. Buffalo Ridge Capital creates wealth by investing in quality wind and solar assets, focusing on a portfolio of diversified clean energy projects with the potential for high returns. Innovation still drives our spirit, and opportunity still exists for better outcomes for future generations of rural Americans. And much like the tall wind turbines spinning across rural America, a better future is on the horizon. To learn more about investment opportunities with Buffalo Ridge Capital, visit buffaloridgecapital.com or call 712-823-9092.